If you ever had the thought of why every time you wake up, you feel like the life you living is on repeat, nothing is changing, you feel like everything is boring to you, this video is to help you on how to fix your life. But to actually like receive the video in a good way, like if you have a lot of ego and you think you're better than a lot of people, you would be where you want to be, but you're not there. So this is not to say I'm better than you. It's just pure logical reasoning. I'm gonna give y'all like a lot of context before I break down the why and the hows. But the point is to help people who want to actually fix their life and become better versions of themselves. So let's watch the video. People, when you wake up in the morning, do you know what you're doing? Do you know why you're here on earth? Do you have a purpose? If you don't, you're cooked. I'm telling you right now, medical students put at least 6 hours a day minimum studying their fucking ass off because they know if they don't, they're gonna have the life that everyone else has. So there are little medical students who don't even give a fuck about their career, but they're only doing that shit because their parents told them to. They literally went on Google and typed, what's the highest paying career? Found medical doctor and just did that shit. They don't just naturally just like to, you think they give a fuck about the 6 hours of shit they're studying? No. But they have to, because if they don't understand the concept, lives are on the line. So I get it. You don't want to be a medical doctor. You don't want to be some type of career that takes hella time. I get it. But fuck that. Put that to the side. The reason why those type of careers are so respected is because during those years, the amount of effort and the amount of focus they're putting towards one thing, where they like it or not, they're getting the results done. You think when they fail a test, you think their damn teacher give a fuck about how bad they cried or how they feel? You think a medical student can say, hey, I don't feel like studying today, so I'm just not gonna do it. I just feel so sad and depressed. I can't study. I'm just not gonna study. Or better yet, I'm not gonna go to class. Bro, they will be kicked out so fast, you would have thought they never went to school. But they can't do that shit because the consequences of not fulfilling their purpose and studying and putting belt to ass towards the coursework is immediate. But if you want to do some shit like day trading or real estate or content, let's say I don't post a video today. I'm not going to feel it. Oh shit, I couldn't post a video today. I don't get an F for a grade. No. But the difference between medical students or people with those type of careers versus doing content or your own thing by yourself, your own business, is you have to be your own teacher. When you fail as a medical student, you feel that shit immediately. But when you have to do this shit by yourself, like your own business or your own account or your own whatever the fuck, is when you fuck up and you don't do what you're supposed to do, the consequences are not as immediate. But I'll tell you what, my nigga, the time will pass anyway. Let's say in 2 months from now, you could be the best YouTuber or creator of all time. I know it's crazy, but bear with me. There's a version of yourself that could be that person. But every time you take an action that delays that version of yourself, it doesn't happen. Every time you say, I could post a video today, but I have a headache, or I just can't do it. It's like you're addicted to being inadequate. Every time you say no to something your future self would love to do and would be grateful to do, every time you say no, you're reaffirming inside your body. Your body is listening, okay, yes. He said he was going to do content. He didn't do it. Yes, he wants to be homeless. Yes, he wants to be unsuccessful. If everyone did what they felt like doing and got results, we would all be millionaires. But it doesn't work that way. So hear me out. Like I said, I'm not a dad. I'm not a mom. I'm not a parent. But when your parents say go to school and learn either a medical doctor or some 10-year ass shit, and you say no, that's okay. But I'm going to tell you why they're still cooking with how they're thinking. The reason why they choose these fuck-ass careers is because they want you to have crystal sharp precision focus. It's not about being a doctor. It's about the amount of hours they put in to accomplish a goal. So case in point, if I have a knife, this is my hand. If I just slightly tap that shit, it's going to hurt. If I have this bottle, no matter how hard I hit this shit, I'm not going to feel pain because my mission and my purpose is not that precise. So you tell me if I'm crazy. What the fuck do you look like telling your parents, hey, your parents want you to be the best version of yourself, even though they don't understand content, even if they don't understand how to do charts, how to do trading, or how to do stocks or real estate or the foreign exchange market, even if they don't understand that shit, how the fuck do you look telling your parents, Yeah, I know you want me to work super hard towards something specific, like becoming a medical doctor, but I'm actually going to choose to do something I want to do, but I'm a half-ass it. So if medical students who don't really give a fuck about what the fuck they're learning and they're only doing it for the money can still get results, how can't you? There's something you want to do. No, hear me out. No funny shit. There's something you want to do and you can't even put half the amount of effort the medical students are putting on something they don't even want to do. It's like you're in a race and the medical students are having a 100-pound barbell on their back and they're lapping your bitch ass. Literally. Yes, it's a pause. Reflect. Look around right now. Tell yourself, I don't deserve this. But the truth is, you do. Nigga, I do. Because the actions, if we put a 24-hour surveillance camera on your bitch ass, and after you told everyone, hey guys, I'm going to be successful as fuck, just you wait. And they put a 24-hour camera on your ass. You wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth. You doom scroll for about an hour. You're in your bed rotting. No push-ups, no pull-ups. You didn't journal. You didn't get in your book. You did none of that shit. Okay, he's kind of bullshitting. His actions are cope. And the cherry on top is you will literally lie to yourself and say, hey, me being in bed on my TikTok or my For You page, that's me doing research towards my real estate or towards my foreign exchange market or towards my day trading. You're fooling yourself. But that's how you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, even though I'm doom scrolling, at least I might find a clip that might teach me something. So you wasted your first 2 hours doom scrolling. Then you find something to eat. Then you might put maybe an hour or even maybe 2 hours towards your day trading shit. Then you go back to maybe you might do a walk. You might get on the phone with some girls. You might go out, go to the mall. Now your whole day is wasted. So in combination, you spent about 2 hours out of 24 hours towards what you wanted to do. And you went to sleep happy and you woke up. Time to do it again. The less work you put in a day-by-day progress, the farther the dream you want is running away from you. If you were destined to be a millionaire in 2030, but you keep taking these actions that procrastinate your bitch ass, it'll go from you being successful in 2030 to even you being homeless by 2027. It'll have the opposite effect because the God put you here for a purpose. So when you bullshitting, it's in our biology. Of course you're not happy. It's literally in our biology. When we're not becoming the versions we're supposed to be, why would we be happy? You think you deserve to be happy? You have nothing to show for it. So like I just said, it's about the precision. So I know I've been yapping my ass off. I know you're asking, okay, bro, just tell me, how do I start? What's the first thing to do? The first thing is very simple, very small wins. Look around. Is your room clean? Is your house clean? I don't give a fuck how dirty your roommates is. Clean that living room, my nigga. Because when you come in and out the building, you're seeing that fucking room. And it's like a subtle reminder, hey, I'm a bitch. I'm going to be homeless. Every time you take an action that goes against the better version of yourself, you're telling yourself, yes, boss, I want to be homeless. Yes, boss, I want to stay with my parents. Yes, boss, I want to prove everyone right about me. So assuming that you did the first step, you cleaned your area, now what? Buy a book, buy a composition book, buy a journal. I don't care what you buy. Buy something you can literally write on. And the first thing you're going to write is the life you don't want to live. You don't want to be homeless. You don't want to make this amount of money. You don't want to work this job. Or you might even tell yourself, speaking of job, you might even tell yourself, hey, I hate this job so bad. Yet you might tell yourself, I hate this job so bad, yet your actions are saying you're a fucking liar. How do you hate this job, yet you clock into it every day? Because the reality is, let's say you do hate it. There's someone that hates the job even harder than you, and their actions are saying, hey, yeah, he hates this job. Because the reality is, talk is literally cheap. Every action you're taking, your body is listening to you subconsciously. Yes, stay at this job. You say you hate it, yet you're still there being treated like a cuck, like a loser. You're addicted to being, like I just said, inadequate. So like I just said, with the journal, you're going to write down the life you don't want to live. Because the reality is, if you really didn't want to live that life, you would be doing something about it. So it's like, hey, you're telling people, man, I hate the life I'm living, and you're right here. But the truth is, you don't really hate it, because if you did, you would do something about it. It's like this, my nigga. I could be asleep, laying on my arm. The moment my arm starts getting numb, I have to wake up. If I'm asleep and I don't feel nothing about my arm, and I stay asleep and I let my arm literally die, whoop-de-doo. Because I didn't give a fuck about my arm. You can't tell me you let your arm die. I know this example is stupid as fuck. You can't tell me you let your arm die, yet you cared about it. No, you didn't. You would have woke the fuck up. So I'm yapping again. The point is, you're gonna grab a fucking journal, you're gonna write about the life you don't wanna live. Actually visualize the life you don't want to live. Then you're gonna write down the steps you are going to take. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be easy. Some days you just won't do it. But I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do. On those days where you just don't feel like doing it, there's two things. It's a free hint. I have candles, spray, and I work out with the music. I change my sense of smell and what I'm hearing. So let's say I feel sad or I feel like I don't want to do what I'm supposed to do. I change my surrounding, that way I can get into a state of I have to log in. So now, when I was feeling like a piece of shit, that was when I was smelling an old smell and I was hearing old. And that was when I was smelling an old smell and hearing an old sound. You know what I'm saying? So it's setting yourself to be in another state. It's like going Super Saiyan. You're screaming, yeah, ooh, Super Saiyan. You're screaming for a reason. You're changing their environment literally by the voice in their mouth. Power of the tongue. So like I just said, you're gonna get on a notebook and you're gonna write down. Write down, antithesis. You don't want this life. You want to do this. Are your actions saying what you actually want to do? You say you want to day trade. Are you researching this shit? Or are you researching real estate? Or are you just on the phone with girls 24/7/8? And like I just said, you can have fun, but it gets to a point, when will the fun end? I get it. In fact, my nigga, you can be locked in and still go on the weekend and still party. But are you going to party every damn day? And then when your son asks, hey, dad, why aren't you a millionaire? Oh, because I had all them parties I had to go to. What? Because the reality is, if you don't lock in now, when you're working your 9 to 5, you're going to ask yourself, why was I bullshitting? Because the truth is, you have two options now. You can continue bullshitting or you can ascend. Point is, like I said, with the journal, after you write everything down, you will go to sleep, or fuck go to sleep. After you wrote everything down, you already wrote down the life you don't want to live, the places you don't want to see. You've already visualized it. Now you're going to take actions to reverse the damage you've done. I don't care how old you are, because the reality is, once you start taking actions towards the life you want to live, slowly you'll get closer to that life. Slowly. You think you'll be unhappy when you're you think you'll be unhappy when you're on a yacht with 10 different bitches? Or when you tell your mom, hey, I know you did everything you can for me. I love you. Here's a car. Here's a BMW. Oh my God, my son, thank you. But no. Why would you not be happy? Or even if you aren't, at least you can say you did it. The people who birthed you, you were in her stomach for 9 months. And when she asked, hey son, why aren't you successful? Ah man, it was just them girls, man. I had a kid. I had the doom screw. I had the goon. Because if you look back on the day you had yesterday, you might realize I haven't done shit with my life. Yet I just fucking told you, there are medical students who are putting 6 hours minimum a day. And these are the same, I'm not saying all students, but these are the same students that don't give a fuck about the shit they're learning. But they'll log in and get the results. I literally have a friend crying every damn day. Crying. Man, I'm just not getting it. But guess what? She still fucking reads. She still studies. Because the truth is, your future don't give a fuck about how you feel. Did you get there or not, dad or mom? Did you become successful? No? Why not? Because you were crying because a girl left you? Answer. There's no good reason. So, I'm yapping again. I'm sorry. So, like I said, you're going to write down the life you don't want to live. Then you're going to write down the life you do want to live. And before you go to sleep, like I said, you have to work out. I don't care how healthy you are. They even did a study, my nigga. They compared 4 different people. I'm not lying. Ask GPT, ask Google. I saw it on TikTok, but it sounds real as fuck. I don't care. They took 4 people. They had one that was healthy, who ate healthy and worked out. Another one that was healthy, they ate healthy food, but didn't work out. One that was unhealthy but worked out. And the one that was unhealthy and also didn't work out. So, of course, the first place guy who was the most in shape and as far as who prolonged their life expectancy, the first one was the one who ate healthy and who worked out. But guess what the second one was? It wasn't the one that ate healthy and didn't work out. It was the one who was unhealthy but still worked out. I think the percentage was for first place who was healthy and worked out, the reduction in their cardiovascular life expectancy bullshit was about 27 to 21%. And then for the one that was unhealthy but worked out, it was about a 17% reduction in living longer, whatever the math is. I don't give a fuck. So it was only a 10% different. Point is, you're better off eating shit and still working out. Working out is a non-negotiable. So we're gonna do an overview. You did the journal about the life you don't want to live. Then you did the one of the life you do want to live, and your passion, your purpose, what you want to do with your life. You worked out. I don't give a fuck. Okay, work out in what sense? Crank some push-ups, crank some squats, crank some ab rollers, pull-ups. I don't give a fuck what you do. Get your body moving. Depression hates a moving body. Get some blood flowing. Get some vitamin D3 and some K2. Okay? Once you've done that, hop in the shower. You're going to feel fresh. Your room is clean. And if you still feel like you're not doing enough, well, you already check your journal. You already know what you're supposed to be doing right now. Set up time blocks and complete them. It's very point blank and period. And if you're not locked in, you're going to be just like everyone else. Because if you do what everyone else is doing, you're going to get the results everyone else is getting. Everyone can't be a millionaire, my nigga. I need someone to make sure my fries are hot. And I'm not dissing 9-to-5 workers. I work fast food too. But the reality is, how long are you going to be here? It's a mind thing. When you do get that 9-to-5 job, don't think you're going to be there forever. It's a quick come up on some cash because you already know the life you want to live. So, like I said, I think I told you everything. So, another overview. I know I'm yapping. The life you want to live, the life you don't want to live, you're going to work out. And then when you wake up in the morning, you're not going to grab your phone. You're going to go in your journal and write down everything you're going to do. Even if you wrote it down the night before, write it again. Like I said, you're not going to be perfect. But every time you feel like you're unhappy, it's because you're not doing the shit you're supposed to be doing. You're not working out. You're not producing content. You're not studying the lines on a day trading stock. I don't give a fuck what you do. Real estate, who cares? Point is, be precise. Like I just told you with that damn knife. It doesn't matter how small the knife is. If I put it on my skin, it's gonna hurt. But the life you have right now is aimless as fuck. Hey, mom, I don't wanna have to work those 6 hours towards something I actually do want to do. I want to half-ass it and live a comfortable life. I want to call it comfortable privilege. But some people don't have that option. So don't overlook it and acknowledge the privilege you have. Don't take it for granted. I'm saying that to say this shit, bro. I just realized that shit because when you really have to realize, damn, I've been bullshitting. And the time is only ticking. The time is going to go away anyways. So you can either keep going and you do nothing about it, or you can start doing actionable steps. The choice is yours. Like I just said, I love y'all niggas. I want y'all to be the best version of yourselves. I'm not just saying this shit to say, like, this is some shit I wish someone would have told me when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to have a head start above everyone else. Because like I said, I'm not saying you have to be in strict monk mode, David Goggins. No. But if you're not happy with your life, it's because you don't know what you're doing. You're aimless. You're a water bottle. You need to be precise. Even your own son, you're going to tell your son, hey, I know you don't want to be a doctor or whatever the case may be, but don't work hard. You're not telling your son that. You're telling your son, whatever the fuck you want to do, you better lock the fuck in. There's no way in the hell medical students are, like, I know I'm spamming the same thing over and over, but there's no way in the hell medical students are studying 6 fucking hours minimum. And you're telling me you can't even post one TikTok a day? A 1-minute TikTok. But they're spending hours studying some shit they don't even really care about. Be real, bro. They don't care. If you talk to some of them, they don't care about shit they're learning, but they know they have to learn it. The results don't care. When you go to your high school reunion, if you're even going to one, I doubt I'm going, but you know how that should be. You think they're gonna ask, yo, bro, why weren't you successful? Or how come you didn't do it, bro? No, they're not gonna ask that shit. It's gonna be yes or no. Are you successful? Yes or no. They're not gonna ask about what happened in your life. No one gives a fuck. No one will save you. You have to save yourself. That's why your journal will become your best friend. So, like I said, Hoopers, let me know in the comments anything else y'all want to talk about as far as locking in, like more questions and any more questions. Or y'all can even just drop y'all little story about what y'all been going through. We all can become better people. You know, we're Hoopers. So just Coach Knox, join the Instagram group chat. Yeah, check out my cookbook and let's hoop, bro. I love y'all niggas. Let's do this shit.